which way they're going to orient themselves and they can get the appropriate surgery. But that's not what we're experiencing in our culture.
That it's okay for people to decide their gender.
In that situation, but that's not what we're talking about in our culture. What we're talking about in our culture are people with perfectly normal functioning sexual organs trying to have them removed and trying to transition to another gender, which is impossible scientifically.
Hi guys, my name is Favor, and today I'll be checking out a video where a biologist confronted Frank on gender theory, the complexities of gender and all of that. So let's get right into it.
What do you have to say for people who don't fit in your definition of man or woman? I'm a biologist. I understand the biology. Are you saying that a woman is only a person who has two X chromosomes and a man who is someone who only has an X and a Y chromosome?
I think that's the scientific definition, yes.
It's actually not, because there can be people with XXY. There can be Y chromosome inactivation. The way that this biology works is that you have genes. Those genes make proteins. Those proteins develop the traits that you define as men and women. They develop the features that you define as male. They develop the genitalia. But you can be a woman with female genitalia and be XY. You can be a man, but you can have XX chromosomes.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Grace. You're talking about a very rare condition known as intersexed.
One in 100 people experience chromosomal differences in sex.
Okay, but not 1 in 100 have different genitalia or ambiguous genitalia.
And what do you say to those people?
Well, what you say is that's a situation that is not the norm.
Yeah,
we're not saying that they're not people, obviously. As I understand it, maybe you know more about it than me, when you do have a truly intersexed person, at that point, either the parents or when they're old enough, they can decide which way they're going to orient themselves and they can get the appropriate surgery. But that's not what we're experiencing in our culture.
So you're saying that it's okay for people to decide their gender?
In that situation, but that's not what we're talking about in our culture. What we're talking about in our culture are people with perfectly normal functioning sexual organs trying to have them removed and trying to transition to another gender, which is impossible scientifically.
Have you ever doubted that you're a man? You've doubted that you...
Oh, have I ever doubted I'm a man? No, I have never doubted I'm a man.
Then what do you say to a transgender person who has never doubted their gender? You're saying that we all change and that obviously transgenderism is a product of some kind of phase, but you've never doubted that you're a man. So
no,
where's your development of this change?
Grace, I'm not denying there are people truly with gender dysphoria. I've already said that. What I'm saying is the way out of that problem is not surgery according to the data. Okay? Psychiatry is the way out of that problem.
I also don't agree with your statement that after surgery, you implied that transgender people are more likely to commit suicide after surgery. But the statistics say that transgender people are more likely to commit suicide because of arguments that you make that they're invalid.
No, I'm not saying they're invalid.
I'm just saying that you implied that it's the surgery that's causing suicide
No, it's
rates.
not. What I'm saying is the surgery doesn't fix anything. That's the point. It's practically the same rate, whether they have the surgery or not.
If you woke up and grew breasts today, would you like them to be removed? There are men.
Say that again?
Have you ever heard of gynecomastia?
I had it.
And so did you have that fixed?
Yes, I did.
And did that make you feel affirmed in your gender and comfortable in your body?
No, when I was in the Navy, nobody knows this, by the way. Jesus, now I'm revealing I need a HIPAA form to sign here or something.
You don't have to talk about it.
No, what I'm saying is, yes, I've had that myself and had it surgically removed when I was in the Navy. Yeah.
And do you feel more comfortable in your body and more affirmed in your gender because of that?
Well, it wasn't a gender thing for me. It was the fact, well, I can't even get into it now because it had nothing to do with my gender. Okay. So it had to do with the fact that it looked really odd. Let me just put it that way. Okay. But Grace, my point is if we truly care about people, are we going to try and force them down a road, particularly as children, into a solution to a problem which is proven not to be a solution?
You just said that having that surgery made you feel better about yourself.
That has nothing to do with transgender surgery. I wasn't changing my sex. I was having breast tissue removed. Okay? I was always a man. Okay? So.
And say that I have XY chromosomes, but I'm born with female genitalia and female body types, but I believe I'm a man. Should I not be allowed to have that breast tissue removed?
As an adult, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, that's fine.
My problem is with the children. That's where I'm having a real problem.
Is there a magic button at 18 that instantly makes you feel like you know who you are and absolutely what your gender is?
No, well, I think for women it's probably like 15. For men, it's 37. To be honest with you, okay? Because men don't develop as quickly as women, all right? But no, we've just chosen 18 kind of as the adulthood crossing point, although for some issues it's 21, like drinking, okay? So, no, maybe it's later than 18, okay? My big problem, and I would say this to somebody who's 37, that the surgery does not appear to help anyone. And if you want more data on this, you can go to sexchangeregret.com. Sexchangeregret.com. But I wouldn't even be talking about this issue unless I thought the current way the culture's going is hurting people. And it is. Why would I bring all this abuse on myself?
I'd just like to say that I disagree.
Okay.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, Grace.
So yeah, that was the video between a biologist and Frank on gender theory and the complexities of gender identity and all of that. Yeah. So biologically, right, the two genders that are known are the ones for XX and XY chromosomes. Now, XX chromosome is for a lady, a female, while XY chromosome is for the males, yeah? But that does not mean that there are no chromosomal aberrations. Now, chromosomal aberrations are, take for instance, an XXY chromosome. Now, there's an extra X, or it could be an extra Y added to it. Now, that is not the norm. It's not normal. That is why it's an aberration. There is 45X, where there is neither an extra X or an extra Y. Now, that is also a chromosomal aberration. Now, in the case of an XXY chromosome, take for example, now, such a person could decide what gender they want to follow because they have both, right? And they have to move towards one part. Now, that is normal for them because their own case is not the norm. But that is totally different from a person that has an XX chromosome or an XY chromosome wanting to change their whole chromosomal construct because they just want to do that, right? And our gender is rooted in biology. That's just the fact. And so whatever we do, we have to still link it back to our biological construct, right? And then they also talked about gender dysphoria. Now, that is a feeling of distress or discomfort between a person's biological sex when they were giving birth to and how they feel when they are all grown. So maybe when they were giving birth to as a female, but when they are all grown, they feel deep down within that, they feel better and more confident as probably a male. Now, that happens, and we're not denying the fact that that actually happens, but changing their whole genitalia construct just because of that, I don't think that is the solution for that particular issue. And instead of that, firstly, I think they should go into therapy. They should get emotional support, talk to someone. That's why that's why Frank mentioned psychiatry, right? Talk to someone, just talk about it first, get therapy and all of that. And then, as an adult, you have the liberty to do whatever you deem fit, right? But then it's not right enforcing these on minors, on children, just because that's what you're saying at that particular time. When in the long run, when they are much grown up, they could actually feel really bad. They could actually feel different as a person grows up, they evolve, they change. So what if they grow up and they now hate the fact that they did a permanent genitalial construct surgery to change their sex? So what happens then? Right? So I don't think this should be enforced on minors. No, I don't think that that's the right part at all. I don't think so. And then for people that have gender dysphoria, I really feel like they should go to for therapy. They should get emotional support. They should get all of that so that they know what they're actually getting themselves into. And even if after all of these they still decide that, oh, I want to do this permanent change of my sex, then that's up to them. They can do that if that's what they want. But to compare an XX chromosome and an XY chromosome to someone that has an XXY, no, that is a total that is not even supposed to be at all, because I mean XXY is not the norm. You barely get to hear people say, oh, I have an XXY chromosome. Most people were biologically made to either be XX or XY. That's how it is, right? And so we should actually accept that as our biological construct. I'm not dismissing the fact that gender dysphoria does happen. No, I'm not doing that at all. But then if you feel that way, I don't think the next option should be to change your genitalia. No, to do a permanent surgery to change the genitalia that you have. No, I don't think that is the next option. I rather feel that the next option should first be to seek therapy, talk about it with someone, and then if you still feel that way, then you can go ahead and do it. And then I feel like surgeries that we should do should make us feel more comfortable in our own body, not necessarily to change our genitalia. Like what Frank said, he had gynecomastia and then he had to remove excess breast tissue. That was because it made him feel comfortable in his own body. It was not like he was trying to change his sex or anything. So I feel like, yeah, we can actually do those stuff if we want to feel comfortable, but that is totally different from trying to change your whole genitalia. So yeah, that's what I feel about this video that we just watched. So I would like to hear what you think about this video that we just watched. So please tell me what you think in the comment section, and please like, share, and follow this page for more videos. Thank you so much. Bye.